This boy and girl are going to be well equipped when the time comes to take their places as worthy members of adult society.
Aloha, y'all. This is Daniel Eisenman, the host of the Breaking Normal podcast, where my guests are all invited based on the frequency of synchronicity, all done in person, and all trailblazers in the breaking of all things normal. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Breaking Normal podcast. It's September 11th, 2025, and I'm here with Sam Church, who's visiting from England. Is that my understanding?
From England, yeah.
Okay. We're going to try to figure out how we're sitting across each other. I'm kind of excited. There's a very Breaking Normal connection here. Speaking of, I got you some things you ordered, and I have a book in there for you.
Oh, man, legend.
If you want to open that, I actually want to get that book out because I want to take some notes, and I want to show off the packaging, the new packaging for Tribe Vitamins. What do y'all think about this?
Right, so here we go. I appreciate you bringing the package.
I appreciate you being here in Colorado with us today, here in Boulder specifically, and you reaching out to be on the podcast. You can just rip it open up or how you have to. And I think this is not your first time in the studio.
Yeah, we've been shooting.
What you trying to get? You want the mic closer to me? Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. I can even do this.
Man, wow, it feels like Christmas.
Oh yeah, I know. We're doing a live unboxing. I don't know if you knew about Tribe Vitamins. There's the book. I'm gonna sign that for you at the end. But I want to use that as a notepad because I like to act like an investigative journalist while we do this. Sam Church 9/11.
Awesome.
A little sticker there for you.
We got a Tribe Vitamins sticker.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's kind of new for us as well. We try to minimize packaging. All the supplements and foods that we put. Oh, there's some buffalo fur in there for you.
Buffalo fur.
I don't know if you've ever been next to a bison or anything.
I actually haven't. No.
And you look like you have a nice beard.
Yeah. Add on.
Yeah, this is kind of how our packaging comes.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's the famous tallow balm.
Bison tallow balm. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then the the raw honey.
Yes.
Yeah, man, excited to get on this. My girlfriend actually, she's been using honey at the moment for her skin.
Just straight honey.
Yeah, putting it on her skin, and it's actually like helping a lot, you know.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love honey anyway, but
you can combine the two.
Antibacterial.
You should try that if you want to try something on your skin right there.
Yeah, this is amazing.
The producer here, Yvel, and you've already been in the studio once today.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll ask you about that in a second. But Yvel was on the podcast last, and he talked about this. He loves this product. He's obsessed. I mean, not only him, I am as well.
Oh man, it smells amazing.
That is just bison kidney fat from 100% grass-fed bison with organic emu oil. And then organic steam distilled cacao and vanilla. That's our white chocolate bison tallow balm.
And you're using this for all over your skin?
Yep.
Nice.
Everywhere. What do you think it smells like?
It's got that like vanilla to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it's like a butter. You know, it's got that like buttery feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome, man.
A bison balm butter.
Bison balm butter.
I adore alliterations.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
All right, so why were you here earlier?
Yeah, so I have a podcast called Transformation Code.
Transformation Code,
yeah.
Okay.
To help entrepreneurs and creators to step into their next level. Specifically, my background's in network marketing.
Okay.
And so I joined a network marketing company 7 years ago, and before that, I was a personal trainer, and then I just wanted to find a way to create more freedom in my life and to live life on my own terms. And I was introduced to a network marketing company, and yeah, man, like that journey in itself, like really allowed me to step into deeper levels of myself, because you can only lead others as far as you've taken yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now I just got back from the reason why I'm actually in America is I just got back from the network marketing convention in Orlando, Florida. And then my buddies here in Denver, who we did the Dr. Joe Dispenza event with last year. So I came here to visit him, and I thought, right, great to get some podcasting in while we're here. And so yeah, that's kind of how we landed here. Yeah.
Are you still with his network marketing company?
Yeah. So I'm still with the network marketing company, and then I also do coaching and podcasting alongside that. Reason being, like with network marketing, everyone has like the same business model, and they have the same coaching and the same environment, like I got fascinated. Why is it that some people create success and some people don't? And, really got fascinated with the mindset and the beliefs behind why someone either moves or they don't, why they take action or they don't. So yeah, I got really fascinated by that, and that's what I do inside my coaching.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the network marketing company you're a part of?
It's called Planet Marketing.
Planet Marketing.
Yeah, it's a travel network marketing company. So essentially what we do is help people set up with their own independent travel agencies, so that they have a vehicle to be able to join the travel industry. They can sell holidays to their friends, their family, book holidays for themselves, earn commissions. And then also attached to that is the network marketing, where you can build a team and help develop leaders. And essentially, like any business, the more leaders you develop and the bigger the organization starts to build. And yeah, it's a really powerful business model. Do you know network marketing?
A little bit, yeah. I actually dove into Purium. I'm not sure if you've heard of Purium.
Not, no.
It's a superfood company. I dove into that prior to starting Tribe Vitamins because I am quite compelled by the idea of network marketing. A lot of times, sometimes I have an issue with the product that's being sold. There was a few products that Purium sold, like their organic tart cherry concentrate, that I really still stand behind. So that was a fun experiment before starting Tribe Vitamins. The product y'all are selling is a vacation.
Yeah, so is it
like a vacation where you have a guide, or just a trip for yourself and your family and friends?
So the actual opportunity is to set up as an independent travel agent.
Okay.
So people who, some people just go on holiday and they book it online, but other people want to use a travel agent.
Yeah.
So that they can actually go through an expert, similar to like in the gym, right? Some people just go to the gym and they work out, but other people go to the gym and they want a personal trainer.
Exactly. Okay.
Right. So it's the same thing with travel. Like if someone wants a service, they'll go for a travel agent. So essentially the opportunity is we help people set up as an independent travel agent, and then they can book holidays for their friends, their family, a wider network, earn a secondary income. And then there's this network marketing spin to it, which is just, I'm obsessed with network marketing because I know what it's done for my life. Like it got me into education, self-development, changed my financial future. So yeah, I love the industry, but I do agree, like you have to want to be aligned with a company that you believe in their product, right?
Yeah.
Not just recruiting people into a company for no reason. You want to believe in the mission, believe in the product, and then you can actually stand behind it.
Yeah. So that's and tell me the name of the company again.
Planet Marketing.
Planet Marketing. Oh, Plan It.
Like
PLA.
Like planet, like the planet.
Oh, okay.
Marketing.
Okay. Planet Marketing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. I have so many questions about that, but let me see if I can just catch us up to today. You reached out to me. This is where there might be a breaking normal cool thing, like who's interviewing who.
Yeah.
Because you have a podcast that you were going to interview me for, with the transformation code.
Yeah, exactly.
And that once again is about entrepreneurship and self-development.
Yeah, so for entrepreneurs and creators, self-development for an entrepreneur and creator to create success in their life, but also to learn how to feel fulfilled in the process. Like earlier on in the studio, sat down with Jason to talk about relationships, because like in network marketing, in entrepreneurship, it's one thing being able to create success, but it's another thing actually being able to cultivate relationships inside of your business, inside of your life as well, And so that was on the podcast, and yeah, that's why I reached out to you to be like, I looked at this podcast, let's do podcast studio. And yeah, you were one of the faces that popped up, and I was like, right, you could add.
Oh, that's how you found me, through Let's Do Podcast.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at that, Yabel. Come on.
So that's a breaking normal.
Yeah, there's my coffee. You're reaching for that coffee. I want some of that.
Yeah.
And then speaking of coffee, you were at Wonder Juice Shop, where I just dropped off some of our products. And then I was doing like it's something about when I thought of you, I'm like, I bet this guy takes action. I bet you are an inspired action taker. That's the vibe I get from you.
Yeah.
And when I was here waiting for the studio to open, I got an email from like another farm where I get raw milk about wanting people suggesting they carry that product as well, as same as Wonder Juice Bar, where you were just getting bone broth, and that is a freeze-dried bone broth. I'm just kind of unraveling a little bit of a synchronicity here, taking the note out loud. I keep a synchronicity journal too.
Amazing.
And by being in your presence, I allowed myself to be like, I'm going to just take action on right now and reach out to the Golden Hoof and see if they want to carry this product as well. And I'm wondering how that fits into your life. Like, how did I don't even know how you got in touch with Jason, Yovel, me all at once. Are you in Boulder for like one day?
Yeah, Boulder for one day.
Yeah. So you're really juicing the opportunities out of life is one thing I see about you right away.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a philosophy which has been built so that's like with the podcast, the transformation code. It's like the opportunity when you're in different places to connect with inspiring individuals like yourself. And like, it's network marketing taught me this, where you're only ever one connection away. So it's like, you look at this opportunity, and maybe the listener, can also take some value from this. Is you look at Let's Do Podcasts, and suddenly like Let's Do Podcasts is connected with yourself, is connected to Jason, is connected to, there's going to be so many connections. And that's why I see the world almost like a network, right? You're just like connections, and podcasting is an awesome way to connect and meet new people. And one of the things I love about podcasting specifically is you get to sit down for 60, 90 minutes, and the level of connection that you build during that time compared to if you were just, chatting on the phone or a bit distracted, it's just a different level. But yeah, that is a philosophy is, when you've got an opportunity, we all have an opportunity every day. It's like, it's a fresh slate. It's a fresh start. It's like, what are you going to do with it? Like, Yeah.
Have you ever read The Third Door? The Third Door?
I'm not.
That's a really cool book, and about how, like, the way what I remember from it is like there's like usually one of two ways people think you can get to have an opportunity, and they usually just rule both of them out. But there's always another way. Yeah. And I when I was talking to Yovel, I was like, I don't know Sam. Do you know Sam? No one knows exactly what was going on, but it seems like you came in Boulder and you got on the podcast with Jason, what an awesome opportunity. Now we're here together, and it's like the day's just halfway begun.
We're halfway through the day. I know yeah. What's going to unravel off the back of this conversation. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, yeah.
You already went to Wonder. You were asking me if you want to go to the sauna. Hey, we could maybe go after this. But yeah, congratulations on just, from what I can tell, living an action-inspired life.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah,
that's pretty impressive. I am curious what you think you might have wanted to interview me about. If you ever have any questions, just feel to sprinkle those in. And do you you're here, do you travel a lot as well? Like, the destinations that you're selling to other people, it sounds like what you're still doing, and it sounds like the podcast is like you have like a nurturing environment, like a cross-pollinating nurturing environment. I'm sure you might get clients interested in the vacations through this, and you might get someone that just wants to listen to the podcast through this and work with you one-on-one. Is this true? Are you selling trips that you take as well?
Yeah, it's like synchronicity, right? With each line. Like, there's a concept in a book that I once read called The Top 10 Distinctions Between Middle Class and Millionaires.
Cool title.
Yeah, it was awesome. And one of the principles inside of there is to, especially when he talks about it with streams of income, how you want each stream of income to lead into one another, right? So he there's an analogy inside of there. Like, if you were to go fishing, like, you could use one rod, right? And then that rod, obviously, like, you may catch some fish, but then also you could have like 10 rods, right? And then do you reckon you'd be more likely to catch fish with like 10 rods or one rod? Like 10. And then he was like, but see, like, entrepreneurs, they often have like, you can have multiple streams of income, but the ideal would be to have a net, behind while you're fishing. So you've got a big net so you can really like catch fish. So I use that principle when it comes to wealth building, even with like the podcast, the coaching, the network marketing. And I try to just use that philosophy is, how can the different streams lead into one another? So that then each one benefits, and people from the network marketing can benefit into the podcast, can benefit into the coaching, and they all kind of like lead into each other. Yeah.
I totally resonate with what you're saying, because here you go. This is what came first, the book, Breaking Normal. Then came the podcast, which we're on right now. So there you go. That's awesome cross-pollination. Maybe someone reads the book, then they listen to the podcast, and then maybe they learn about tribe vitamins. And then there you go. And then maybe it goes the other way around. Maybe someone was interested in having some raw bison liver Then they found out about this podcast. Then they found out about the book, and then they found about you along the way.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I think there's room for a technology. Maybe this already exists, like an app. And I know you could kind of do this through Facebook, and I could look up if I was trying to meet you, I could look up our mutual friends. I could type your name in, and that may be one way. But I think there could be a really advanced AI that goes through all social media websites, all connections. And if I'm trying to meet like Laird Hamilton, a famous big wave surfer right now.
Oh, yeah, he has the XPT, right?
Yeah. Which
I've
partaken in it.
Awesome.
But let's just pretend I don't know him and I want to find out. I wish there was an app that could search through all networks, all neighborhoods, any connection that makes it a 1 degree separation instead of 6 degrees. Because the 6 degree of separation, I don't think that's true anymore. I think we're way more connected than that because of what's going on with the internet and such.
Yeah, we're actually in a time of, it's a blessing. Like, we've been able to connect just through like Instagram, and that one connection, it's like you're literally a message away from pretty much anyone now, Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people struggle with social media feeling like a weapon against them instead of a tool for connection. And I think one of the ways that you could, for someone that's listening that doesn't feel like social media is a great way to connect, do something like what Sam's doing today. Like, use social media to connect with someone in person.
Yeah.
Do you have any other advice or guidance on how to use social media to someone's advantage rather than their disadvantage? The other thing I'll say is be a consumer. Be a creator instead of a consumer. I think most people are consuming like 99% and not creating much. If we could flip that, where you're like consuming 2% of the time and creating 98% of the time, that's another way to use social media as a good tool. Do you have any other ideas around this?
Yeah, it's a tool, right? Like with anything, it's like social media can be used for good, or it can really mess up your life. And it just depends, like with anything, how you use it, right? But yeah, that one of the philosophies being online and offline, I think both are important. It's like if you were to just live your life online and never have any offline connection, like that would be a problem. But like this would be a good example where we didn't know each other, suddenly made a connection online, and then suddenly while we're sat in front of each other, making a deeper connection offline. So for the listeners who are maybe in a more negative space with social media, just like a mindset shift, like how can I use the tool for an advantage? How can I use the tool to benefit my life? How can I use the tool to impact other people's lives as well, right? How can I use the tool in order to, touch some people's lives through sharing a message which is meaningful for me? And then suddenly the algorithm can find your people, and then you could even connect with them offline once you found the people online. So it's a tool.
It is.
Yeah.
One other idea around that popped in my mind is the idea to share things that would help others rather than only sharing things that you're trying to help yourself. That's a big shift, I think, when you are trying to give value through social media rather than just getting it. I think that's also a big, a nice barometer for us creators out there.
Yeah. What can I give? Yeah. And, but yeah, throwing it back to the reason why I reached out to you for the podcast, it was more around like, your health element with what you're doing with your supplements, and also just the way that, you evidently hold yourself and show up as a man, and you keep yourself in like prime condition. So the interest behind that was like, how can, an entrepreneur or a creator start to embody some of the principles in order to then enhance their health, which is going to impact their business as well, right?
Well, you must be dialed into the zeitgeist and like trending current culture without knowing me, because this is something I've been trying to hint at with Yovel and another guy I work with, Caleb, that I am getting this question an absurd amount of times from like all kinds of people, and a lot of like high functioning people, like people that I already think are quite fit. They want to know my diet and my nutrition and my like how much I go to the gym versus what am I doing outside. They like want to know my regiment.
and which is good for tribe vitamins, because it must mean I'm walking the talk of the benefits of the superfoods that I'm distributing. Is that what you're getting at? Is this, can you ask me the question?
Yeah, like what let's dive in then. What is your nutrition regime, and like how do you use the supplements?
Okay, so maybe you can help me answer this, because what I'm seeing, it's becoming such an absurd trending thing in my life in the last few months, that, and like even one guy asked me like, what anabolics am I using last night? He was asking me, what anabolics am I using? And I'm like, you mean like elk antler? He's like, no, like steroids, like, or like growth hormone or testosterone. I'm like, I'm not. And so I see this, and maybe this is where you can help me. I see this as another business opportunity for tribe vitamins. And I'm not sure if it means I could start offering like an e-course about it, or an online, a monthly consultation program. I'm leaning more towards like a intertribal council sort of situation, where I may take on 5 clients a month, where I give them full access, like via text or something. They can like send me if they have a question about food, or if they have a question about a workout, I can like kind of full access text back to about 5 people, and then like have a weekly meeting. That's one way I'm thinking about formatting this. So maybe you can help me answer this question. How can I answer this question most effectively for all these people that are curious, in a way that would benefit tribe vitamins the most? Because tribe vitamins is a major part of what I'm doing. Like I don't eat much. I do not eat much during the day, calorie wise, other than my supplements. I barely eat anything.
And I think that
I have this beer, I have this coffee.
Yeah.
I have a lot of tea and honey, and like this honey, and a lot of supplements. I'm eating a lot of the liver, heart, antler, testicle supplements we have.
And it just breaks belief systems, right? Of like the not, maybe not for you in your world. If you're around people who are also eating like that and supplementing like that, and if you live like that and you have done for a while, then it just breaks belief systems for those who haven't followed that path, right? But when you're a model of you're a living, breathing result of the way that you live, then that is what makes people like, oh, what are you doing, right?
Yeah. And that's becoming very trending right now.
Yeah.
Like I want to do something about this.
Yeah.
So this, I could possibly start and share this podcast episode and try to answer as much as I can. But like that's a major part of it. That I don't eat like other people. I don't eat a real meal until sunset. And then I eat a meal that most people could never eat. It's huge.
After in the evening.
Yeah, it's huge. Right. And I'm taking a lot, like a lot of people that I follow would never like this many hours before you go to eat and before you go to sleep. But I'm pounding milk and honey, and sometimes even like
throughout the day
protein. No, at night,
before
I go to sleep.
Right.
I'm pounding a good bit of usually raw milk, sometimes coconut sugar or honey or maple syrup, and sometimes added colostrum and added protein, whey protein, and like right before I go to sleep.
Wow.
So like maybe I'm doing something that's so radically different that if other people gave it a go, they would be shocked as well. And I know most people that hang around me, if they hang around me for more than 2 weeks, they get thinner. They get thinner and fitter.
But thinner, but also like muscular though, right?
Yeah, like so they get less inflamed.
Yeah,
less inflamed.
And you'd say put that down to fasting.
Not only that for sure, but that's like a major obvious one. Like I'm trying to think of how many. I'm wondering if I had like 200 to 300 calories so far today, 300 to 400, but just like spread out through like sugar and honey and beer and coffee and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe you should test it. Like test it with a small group of like 5 people, and maybe just start with some market research, right? Mm-hmm. Of like what people are actually looking for. But when you're getting asked questions, it shows that there's interest there, right? It shows that people are intrigued. And I think health is so important, like having energy, vibrancy, and that flows into all the rest of your life, right? So if you've got some things that have worked for you, it makes sense to be able to pass that on to people who can also test it, trial it, and see what works for them.
I could try to answer the question though. I could try to like summarize it in like a 90-second, because I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you some questions before we end this today that I want you to answer in about like a minute or less. So I think this is one way someone could probably, I think most people would reach their peak aesthetic, their fitness aesthetic level if they did this for 3 months, like better than they ever have, which would be basically to, when you wake up, go hopefully right around sunrise, right before sunrise or right around sunrise, go outside and get some of that sun in your eyes, and maybe do breath work if you want, whatever you gotta do. Just get like that morning sun in your eyes for at least a few minutes, and then do a cold plunge. I live right next to the creek on that for that reason, so I'll usually just go right in the creek. So you could do that, and then you could have coffee with our femur creamer in it. Our femur creamer is just loaded with bone marrow, collagen, and gelatin. So have your coffee or tea with that. And then when you start getting hungry, have more tribe vitamins, have more bison liver and bison heart. And if you're going to work out, if you're going to have a workout, and I take creatine. So you can, like in that one of your teas, you can mix like 5 grams of creatine in there. But when you start getting hungry, just start eating a lot of tribe vitamins, like a dose or 2. And then if you're going to, this is when I'd probably work out, then I would kind of take a heavy dose of tribe vitamins and do like a bunch of elk antler and bison testicles.
After the workout?
Before, after. I'm just taking tribe. Yeah. I'm just eating these things quite a bit. But here's a workout regimen for people. 5 days a week, do 60 pull-ups, 60 push-ups, and 60 kettlebell swings at 60 pounds. If you can do that 5 days a week, for a few months, those pull-ups are going to stack, and the rest of your body will stay active as well. At least do that. And
which is simple and
so simple. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I could try to make this simple, but I think people need like someone to hold their hand along this. I'm asking for 300 push-ups, 300 pull-ups, and 300 kettlebell swings a week, spread out through 5 days. It'd be awesome if you get 20, if you live where you can get naked sun time, get 20 minutes on your balls for sure. Like get naked. What do you find is the benefit of that? Oh, I think first of all, I think there's a ritual, a beautiful feeling to it. And there's something that happens, like you can literally see. Like, have you ever done this? Have you ever sat in the sun naked? No. Like most people's balls will start like moving around like aliens. Like I've never seen like my balls move like this in this particular way, unless I'm sitting in like the hot sun naked. And then it feels good and it looks good. It looks good to see my body not look so pale in certain areas. And I feel like it's good for any kind of, you know how some people have like mold toxins or like parasite issues or fungus issues, and sometimes that can manifest in like their feet or their armpits or their crotch or their skin. I think the more we expose ourselves to we are solar panels, so I think our body deserves 20 minutes of naked sun time a day. So to do that, and I think to live in a way like that'll create things for you. It kind of makes life more about self-care in a way, like what a beautiful thing self-care is. Because sometimes that takes a little creativity, and like I have to. Sometimes like this morning, I laid on my deck naked for about 30 to 40 minutes while I did some stuff on my phone. I had my face covered, but the rest of my body was showing, and I had like my deck covered with blankets so no one can see in there. The sun's just coming down. So, and it's like it takes some effort. And let me think about anything else. Oh yeah, and don't eat breakfast or lunch. Don't eat breakfast or lunch. Just take tribe vitamins. And then for dinner, make sure you're eating lots of, just fill yourself up as much as you possibly can around sunset, especially if you worked out hard. And I would say I like to start with like a lot of meat cooked in bone marrow.
So you follow typically like more of the carnivore approach? Not
really. I mean, sort of. I've heard how Paul Saladino eats. We eat kind of similarly. Like, but I'll have sometimes I'll have a bunch of potatoes. Sometimes I'll have a bunch of like local corn, whatever's local in season. And if I'm getting meat, I like to smother it in bone marrow, and I like to eat like maybe a pound of that or so. And I don't eat many vegetables. And then if I had that around sunset and I'm still hungry and I have a bunch of peaches laying around, I'll go crazy on peaches. Make some thick peach raw milk smoothies. And then like right before going to bed, I'll just, if I still am not going to be like nauseated by eating, I'll probably have like some, like I said, like raw milk.
Got you.
With like maple syrup. Shake it up real nice and make it frothy, and then get 8 hours of sleep, and then do it again, and like sleep in a cold environment that's fresh and with a window right next to your head with no electronics on. Turn your Wi-Fi off.
Just like simple stuff, but obviously the diet side of things is very different to say.
That's
like
what's
the typical,
probably most breaking normal for most people.
Yes,
it's like I'm not distracting. Like I have fasted some. Like I think a 4-day water fast for most people would help them understand how ridiculous it is to have breakfast and lunch every day.
Yeah, I was blown away the first time I did a fast, like a few day fast. I couldn't believe it. Like once you get over that initial hunger, and then suddenly like you get over say like day 1, and then like your energy starts to really just it's like you tap into a different source of energy. Mm-hmm. I was blown away when I first did that because it really broke the belief systems for me of actually what we're taught about food is a lie, you know?
Yeah. And that the food thing too, I think it's important to know I am not eating many ingredients in my meals. I'm talking like steak, potatoes, butter, and salt kind of thing, like steak and corn and butter. Chicken wings cooked in bone marrow, and sometimes that's it. Just like sometimes I'll just eat meat until I can't take it anymore. Sometimes avocados, sometimes I'll caramelize onions, but I'm not eating packaged foods. I'm barely eating packaged foods that stay good for a long time, because I think whatever keeps those packaged foods fresh is what keeps people puffy. And I think it's hard for people to tap into their ability to live like the animal that they are, the wild animal that they are, when they're so inflamed. I think it can go to the brain, it can go to all their organs, it can just go to, inflammation. Yeah, I aim to live a pretty low inflammation lifestyle. Oh, and I go to the sauna and
daily?
Cold plunge, probably like 4 to 5 days a week. And I'm probably in that heat for like 30 to 40 minutes. And I'm probably in that cold for like at least 10. But I rotate, I go back and forth like 3 times.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and I do my breath work. My breath work every day, 99% of days. Breath work.
And what style of breath are you doing? Like conscious connected or
very deep, kind of like a Wim Hof, kind of like layered, and I'm doing XPT like 30 seconds. But the point is to hold my breath for at least 2 minutes, 3 times. And on the 3rd time, I'm praying. I'm aiming because I'm pretty high at that point. I'm pretty like in a different state of consciousness. And I'm usually doing that outside in the sun.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what do I do? How do I help other people? Because I do want to help other people with this. I do want other people, because I've done so many retreats. I've done like 50 retreats, and all the time as I see people get less inflamed and healthier, and I want to help scale that through my Tribe Vitamins business, even in a more effective way.
I mean, it goes hand in hand, right, with what you're doing with Tribe Vitamins anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You work with some people and then get some testimonials and put that on the website and say, get them using the Tribe Vitamins at the same time as going through your rituals. And
are you interested?
Oh, I mean, we could roll through that, man. Yeah.
Like I am interested. Like, what do you think I could help you with?
What do you think you could help me with?
Yeah. Like when you were asking that question.
Yeah, I mean, the things that I get fascinated by is from a health perspective, like reducing inflammation.
Because you look pretty non-inflamed. You look pretty healthy to me.
Yeah. I just think there's always another level, right? So I take health really seriously. Actually, right now, I'm just about to go through work with a functional medicine doctor to get all of my levels tested out. Because I think at the end of the day, like there's always another level that you can start to work inside of your health.
See, that's where I would challenge that. I'm like, the testing, I'm skeptical of all this testing. I'm skeptical of it all. I haven't gotten tested for anything in so long. Oh, I once got, for legal reasons, I took that stupid COVID test.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I took one of those. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole hospital staff almost had to come in because I kept telling them, like, don't put that any farther at my nose. And like, do we have to get more people in here? Because I had to do it like for a legal thing. But anyways. Yeah, the testing, because, and it's something I talked about with a recent guest, Dr. Jack. he was talking about like the health model versus the sickness model. And he wasn't, I think he believes in testing for certain things. And we didn't really dive into it, but I just think it's a slippery slope, because once you're outsourcing your intuition about what's best for you, and how do you know that test is like not 100? How do you know it's 100% accurate? How do you know it's not testing you just for the moment and the day you're having, which could be radically different, say tomorrow or next week or next month? And like, what happened to you figuring out like what's working for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's
an
interesting perspective. The way I see it is, it's like, it's data. You know, like in a business, right? You get data, you get numbers, and then also, even in a business, you can look at the data, but also sometimes you also tune in to yourself, right? And tune into your own intuition and your inner guidance. So for me, it's almost like a tool. But if you were to this is why I actually stopped using like Whoop. I used to wear the Whoop. And then when I would wake up in the morning, it would tell me that I'd had a bad sleep. And I'd be like, actually, I feel great. But the second I would look at the data, I would then go, well, maybe my energy is going to be low today, you know? So I stopped wearing the Whoop for that reason. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's like you trial and error. The whole thing with life is like to go through life and trial, error, and see what works for you, you know?
I agree with that. I agree with that last part, but I'm saying, if I start relying on testing, whatever it is, it's a biomarker in my blood or my blood pressure or my cholesterol or my testosterone or my sleep score or my grip strength, or what, then it's like what you're saying, then that data, I feel like, how can someone not outsource their intuition to that data? Like, why else are they getting the data? So put it this way, you go get your blood tested and they're like, yo, you're low in B12. So they're going to most likely have a recommendation. Like, now you're going down this B12 thing where I'm like, I think I kind of agree with Dr. Jack. The answer is it's in the sleep. It's in the sunshine. It's in the fresh air. It's in the organs. It's like the pharmacy's like in the farm and like in the animals that we've been eating forever. I don't think Geronimo needed a blood test to know how he was going to fight tomorrow. And gosh, yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you get?
I get your
it's kind of bold
sure,
what I'm saying. This goes right like in the face of most people that I listen to.
Yeah, and it's, at the end of the day, it's how beautiful like people can have different perspectives and also walk through life and have like different ways that they do things. And yeah, I see it as just like data. And then from that data, like if it sits and it aligns, but like if you would just go off that data and then like remove the data of your own inner tuition, right? Intuition, then that would be a problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like another example is, I don't really know how many people are listening to this podcast. I see the views on Instagram and such, like when I post a reel, but I don't know how many people are like downloading the show or listening to the show from like Spotify or iTunes purposefully. I feel like, let's just say that, like this episode did a lot better, and this is the type of person you interview, so this is the people you need, and these are the questions you need to ask. I'm like, no, I don't do this. I don't do this for that. I do this because more of my inner data and knowing seeing the results of purposefully connecting with awesome people without an agenda for 8 years now.
And your philosophy with your health and fitness
is similar. It's like, I once did a blood test like 12 or 15 years or 20 years ago almost, because I did a raw vegan diet for a while, and I knew my testosterone was extremely low, but I kind of wanted to confirm it. And right away they wanted to give me testosterone. I was like 20 something. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I changed everything, and I changed my testosterone overnight that night for sure. I ate a pound of some wild salmon for the first time in years, that much meat. And I just woke up a whole new man, and I don't need a test. I don't need a test to tell me that.
And inside of your business too, though, like when it comes to data? Are you using data or no?
Gosh, yeah, this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
I have people that are working with me with data stuff. But it's more like most of the people that are finding out about this is not from paid marketing at all. It's more from word of mouth. And we're not necessarily set up to in a scalable way where we can like sell millions of products, because our main aim is to be the very best product in whatever industry that we're doing. Best tallow balm I've ever used is right there. Best honey I've ever had is right there.
Feeling very soft.
Yeah. That's the aim. We've helped thousands and thousands of people without getting into the data. Yeah. Now, maybe if we wanted to sell millions of a product that we had of that scale, I do see how the data could be quite important there.
Oh, yeah, but then you're using, so even with this is what I'm hearing is that you're using your inner data.
Oh yeah. I just know if we have the
yeah.
very best, I know about I know a lot about honey, and I know a lot about tallow, and I know a lot about organ capsules, and I know a lot about bone broth powders. So yeah, all I know is Tribe Vitamins has the best of every one of those. How
long have you followed this style of living?
Probably since I started doing retreats with my brothers. When we first started our first paid retreat, when people were going to pay to come on a vacation with us, we wanted to be the very best. That was what was most important.
When was that?
I guess right when after I graduated college, so in 2007ish.
Yeah, because I've seen the XPT team. They do something similar, right? They run like the retreats, and then they also have the breath
very
work
similar
and movement. Yeah, my buddy introduced me to that, and I did that stuff for a while actually. The breath works, and
they're awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
I went to their prototype to help them with that. They're amazing people. Those are some of the coolest people I know. Are like Laird Hamilton, Gabby Reese, that guy Brian. I don't know Brian McKenzie that well, but the people they work with, even like Rick Rubin and all these guys, they're a quality all-star crew.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you do one of their retreats?
I did the prototype before they started charging the public for it.
Nice.
There was like an all-star group there. Yeah. I do have some top 10 questions that
let's go.
We'll see how many I get to. How are we doing with time today?
41:50.
All right, great. How are you doing, Yovel?
Life is good. This is the reason that I stopped to use Whoop, by the way.
The same
reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a while ago I stopped using Whoop now. Whereas, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You wake up in the morning, you look at like the sleep, and then it would tell me I had a bad sleep. And then sometimes I'd actually wake up and feel not as good, and it would tell me I had a good sleep. I was like, hang on. So yeah.
It's big business. The data, like getting that, this is only the beginning. This is a huge market. So it's a little crazy. I do think my opinions on it are very breaking normal. All right, let's see your breaking normal opinions on some questions. The idea of these are like kind of like popcorn style to like answer in a minute.
Cool. I'm ready. Let's fire it.
What's the most surprising thing you learned about yourself after making it on the outside?
Awesome. So quick fire. Yeah, that outward success doesn't solve inner fulfillment. So I soon realized that, you can create success in life, in entrepreneurship, so for me in network marketing. Yet what that actually taught me is there was a lot of inner work that I still needed to work on. And that the illusion of, when I create, a six-figure business, or when I'm able to travel, like when I'm able to live life on my own terms, like then I'll be sorted. But the reality was actually the happiness and fulfillment is it's such an inner game, and it's actually just chasing that. I think it's important to create that so that you have foundation, safety, security, and also you can make an impact, but at the same time, ensuring that you're doing the inner work.
Awesome. It's like fulfillment's an inside job.
Yeah.
All right. What does ending avoidance actually look like?
Ending avoidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to avoidance, I learned this the hard way. Actually, when I was young, I only found out about this when I started to unravel in more personal development and working with the nervous system, One of the things that used to show up for me inside of intimate relationships specifically, and also in business, is I would avoid a lot. Like, so when there was a difficult conversation, or when, you know, we needed to have a challenging conversation, I would just like push it away and avoid it and go into like a shutdown response in my nervous system. That would show up in business. It would show up even in speaking, and where like public speaking was one of my biggest fears, and I would just avoid it, right? It was just a lack of emotional regulation. So for me, what that looks like, well, actually goes back to when I was really young. Like when I was growing up, I used to, when I'd have like an intense pain. And so for example, in jiu-jitsu, I like landed funny. This was when I was probably like 8 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
I landed funny. I obviously felt, created a pain, and then I would just hold my breath.
Oh, wow.
To the point where I would pass out. Yeah. And then I would come back around, and then that would be my response to pain. Right. So ending avoidance means being able to regulate your own nervous system and learning the tools and the skills so that you can have the difficult conversations, so that you can show up on camera, you know, so that you can build a business, so that you can create deeper relationships where you can actually connect, right? Rather than just protect. Yeah.
I like that one too. Connect over protect. All right. If presence really is power, what's one practice anyone can use to tap into it right now?
Yeah. So using the breath, you know, tuning into your own system. One of the things that brings me back into presence is just becoming aware of my own system, like especially sensations. So for someone listening who maybe isn't as connected to their own system, or maybe they're distracted, disconnected, then just tuning into, actually with Jason, we just spoke about this, where just tuning into what sensations have I got in my body right now? Like, is there a tightness in my chest, or is there a constriction in my throat? And just actually labeling that sensation just brings some presence into the moment and brings you back into your body rather than in your monkey mind.
That's what a lot of this book is about. So
is it? Yeah.
So maybe you'll enjoy this. It's also on Audible.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have sections on nervous system.
A lot of our retreats were specifically about noticing versus imagining. So noticing what is going on in our body that a baby would understand, and like that a dog can relate to. And then you can talk about your imaginations. But first, always noticing what's going on within me.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I mean, we're not necessarily taught this stuff, right? Because in school, you go through school and then you're taught to live from your mind, right? Just study and just be quiet and sit down, and, you know, just that's really like the education system. I know that's like more of like a limiting way to view it, but really we're not taught about emotions. We're not taught about our body. You know, we're not taught about how we can tune into what we're actually feeling and the sensations that we got. We're not taught about entrepreneurship. So these are all things that you have to go out into the world and study through books and courses and go into events like your retreats, like this book, you know, and we have to self-teach this stuff. Yeah.
Amen. What's a belief about success you once held that turned out to be completely wrong?
Like tuning back in that success is going to create that like inner peace and fulfillment. Whereas in fact, switching that to be like, you can be successful and have peace and fulfillment. Also, like the peace and fulfillment is a different journey. It's a different game that you're playing. So yeah, I would say that was a belief that I held, is like, when I'm successful, then I'll have peace. Whereas in actual fact, like you can have peace right now and still be building success, whatever success looks like. Like, you know, what is success? That would be the question, right? What is success to you? Is it money? Probably not. It's probably a lot deeper than that, right? It's creating the inner peace, inner fulfillment at the same time as having the freedom inside and out, you know? But it's different for everyone.
All right. This kind of similar, but what's the biggest myth about hustle culture that you would love to bust?
Yeah, I mean, like the hustle culture is, the thing about hustle culture is, yeah, it may get you results, but at what cost? So, and it depends what results you're looking for. So I'd say with hustle culture, it's like, and actually in network marketing as an industry, there's a lot of hustle culture where it's like, right, just go out and just take a ton of action. But and then that is important, but also doing the inner work to know how to regulate your own system is just as important as well, right? So I'd say to hustle culture, it's like, at what cost? Like, is it costing you your relationships? Is it costing you your peace, your happiness? And figuring out what is a balance to you. Like, is it balance is a bit of a myth as well, but it's like balance. What is that balance to you? You know, how do you want to lay out your life? What do you find to that?
Oh, what do I find about it?
Yeah.
About the biggest myth of hustle culture?
Yeah.
Jeez, man. I think it goes to what breaking normal is about, which I trust is catalyzing people, breaking their addiction to approval and getting addicted to authenticity. And when I see someone like in that hustle culture, like the epitome of it, it looks like they are so addicted to approval. It's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I say about it. It must be a sad way to be.
Have you been in a phase like that or no?
I think I had, like, we all, and including myself, have a little bit of that. I just aim to notice it and use it for beneficial reasons. I mean, this goes sort of to the ego. Like, that's one thing I did working out wise. I like to work out with other people.
Yeah.
I've taken it as far as, like, the idea of asking someone to spot me at the gym. It's not necessarily because I need their help, but it's because I get a little buzz, like an adrenaline buzz, from interacting with someone in the gym in a bold way. And like basically saying, hey man, hey strong man, can you watch me work out? Like, I understand that there's a little bit of like, I'm getting a little fire supercharged from getting approved here, or from that need of approval, or that want of approval. But I definitely don't think that's how I live my life. And I think that's what, in a way, breaking normal means to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we all have that inside of us to an extent. It's just like, it's Tony Robbins. I went to one of his events, Date with Destiny, in December. And he shares about that we all have like the 6 human needs. Mm-hmm. You know, one of them being significance. Yeah. You know, and it's whether you're using that in a positive or whether you're using it in a negative way, right? Yeah. Like, if we've got that thing inside of us, you get some significance from, say, doing a podcast. But it's like, if you're getting that, but then actually sharing value and impacting and sharing a message that can touch someone else's life, like, that's a better way to use it than, say, like putting people down and, you know, using that, you know, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's important. Like, I look at it as like almost the part of me that needs to be in the back seat and like in the seat belt.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have this egoic part of me that's starving for attention and approval to like be in the driver's seat. I mean, it needs to be in the back seat, strapped in, probably in a car seat.
Yeah.
Quadruple loops.
Yeah. I'd say just relax. You're in the car.
Yeah, you're here. Yeah. Now, if I just let it run wild, that could be dangerous for everybody.
Yeah.
What's the boldest breaking normal decision you've ever made, and how did it change your life?
Yeah, I'd say stepping into network marketing would be a really pivotal decision that I made, because my background, I didn't have any entrepreneur experience. Both my parents were police officers, actually, in the UK, and like I had a great upbringing from them, but we weren't in like an entrepreneurial family. So that was a really breaking normal decision, because network marketing has a lot of stigmas, right? And so stepping into that industry and being willing to, you know, take the criticism or take the feedback from, say, like some people you've been to school with, and they're like, oh, you're part of a pyramid scheme, or you're part of a scam, or like, why are you doing that? Right? It's very much breaking out of the normal of a conventional 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you know, and being willing to take those steps, and also willing to take any criticism. And then it's very interesting, because then you probably may have found this on your journey too, and someone listening, is when you do go through those breaking normal steps and you get further enough down the line, then suddenly people often go, oh, how did you do that? But at the beginning, they're like, mate, you're crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little crabs in the bucket sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you had 1 minute to give entrepreneurs one piece of advice to feel fulfilled, what would it be?
Relationships. So tune into, your relationships and understand that we're in a people business in life. And although sometimes you may want to just keep yourself to yourself or like isolate or, just be in that work mode, it's like actually remembering that people are your greatest assets. And as you start to connect, you can learn from each other, collaborate with one another. And from that place, like everyone's got their own unique spin in life. Like I've sat down in this podcast and heard about how you follow your health journey. It's like now I've got some information, right, that we can now, use or utilize. And now we have this connection. And it's like, I've just feel like for an entrepreneur who wants to be fulfilled, if to spin that question, actually, I do in my journal, I often do a magic moments section. So every quarter, I'll write down the magic moments that I have from just in life. And I don't think I've ever had a magic moment where it was just me. Like my magic moment has always been with other people. Mm-hmm. So people are the greatest asset. And I believe that that's where fulfillment comes from, through connection.
I like that. What's the most powerful shift you've seen when someone stops chasing the next milestone and chooses to feel enough right now?
Yeah, the person that comes up for this is someone that I work with, and I often work with coaches, therapists, to just support on the growth journey. And someone who I really appreciate and value was a coach that I had called Natalie, around like relationships and coaching. And just seeing the way that she shows up authentically, and it's like she doesn't feel like she needs to like keep pursuing. It's like she's just happy, like living her life. And like when you have someone that models what true inner fulfillment looks like she's that person for me, where you can just tell she's content. She's like, I do this because I like love the connection, but she's like, I don't need to create any for this massive stuff. And I think you can learn a lot from people who live that authentically, and you can just tell internally they're at peace and fulfilled. Yeah.
I can relate to that with this podcast. So thanks for being a part of it.
Yeah. In what sense?
I don't feel obliged to do this. I want to do this. I want to do these interviews how I do them. And sometimes that changes, but I think the creative constraints help to do them in person. 44 minutes to an hour and 11. Where are we at right now? 57. And to not have a pre-planned dialogue. These top 10 little questions I've been bringing are a little different. So I'm open to changing, but I do this because I want to do it. I love doing this.
And that comes across, right? It comes across in your energy and in the passion behind what you do, right? So I suppose going back to the data, like rather than doing it to chase a metric, it's like doing it because it just feels right. It feels like as a creator, what does a creator do? They create. Yeah. It's like, it just feels good, right?
And it doesn't hurt to circle back all the way to the beginning. It doesn't hurt to have that faith that like one connection away from everything changing. I mean, that's what happened when I met my daughter's mom. Changed everything. And I believe it's always, every connection is changing everything all the time, but sometimes it's very significant in a really cool way.
Yeah.
We'll see where this one goes. What role do altered states like breathwork or psychedelics play in helping people live more authentically?
I mean, breathwork, psychedelics is just became a big part of my life about 4 years ago. And when I was diving into, the self-development work, and first of all with breathwork, I mean, breathwork in itself, even like compared to a psychedelic journey, some of the breathwork journeys have been probably on another level to even some psychedelic journeys. In the sense that, I mean, breathwork for me is it's a lifestyle, it's a practice. It's like even in a podcast like now, it's like you can tune into your breath like you just did, and allow your nervous system to calm down and re-regulate. What an amazing tool that we can give ourselves day to day. Yeah. On the other hand, you either have these like more upregulatory experiences or deeper experiences where, man, some of the things that I've experienced in breath work, it's to even put them into words, it's like people just think you're crazy, and yeah. So a big part in regulation, and then also in expanding possibilities into, like expanding our consciousness, expanding awareness. Yeah.
All right. Number 10.
You work with psychedelics?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think. I've come to an amazing paradox in my life where I especially through this book, I kind of shared everything. I aimed to have no secrets, and I thought that was the best way to live. And now, due to my current season, I keep some secrets publicly, which is an amazing, humbling thing. Because I really thought that the more like there was a time that I was kind of going down this rabbit trail of belief that the more things that more people know about me, then the less I have to be worried about. Like if I can just be as transparent as possible, publicly as possible, then what do I have to think about? And now I purposely keep secrets. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
There are a lot. I mean, there are psychedelics that are like legal in Colorado or decriminalized.
Too right.
Mushrooms
yeah.
for one. Which I think that I'm a big fan of the movement of people realizing there are much higher quality medicines, or whatever you want to call them, medicines, drugs, superfoods, extracts, whatever you want to call them, available than only like what's patentable through big pharma.
Yeah, agreed. And that's where
people can grow a lot of them.
Yeah.
Themselves in like their home and their
and
apartment.
using like responsibly, and so it depends how someone's using it, right? But yeah, just like to expand your awareness and consciousness, and also to what I find is like it just lowers the conscious mind to an extent, and it allows to tune into what is truly present and what's truly real.
And the breath work, and they go so well together, because from my understanding, for most people that are maybe on the verge of what to do in a psychedelic journey, breath seems to be the answer.
Yeah. Well, if we do the sauna and plunge, right, we're gonna have to do a breath work as well, yeah.
Oh yeah. So actually, that's a great point. So sometimes when I push it, do you do much sauna?
Yeah,
you do. Okay.
Sauna and plunge, yeah.
Do you ever do like the wood burning saunas?
I've done them before, but yeah, not.
Sometimes they can get really hot. Like this one can get like 220. And I like to be in the sauna for 15 minutes, but when it's at 220, and if I'm not in the mood for it,
that's hot.
It is not easy. But what the bridge to get me there is usually oming, like long, slow out breaths. And if I can add some audio, like, and just keep like that breath. I can keep an om probably for like 45 seconds. We can do one together if you want.
Yeah, man.
That helps me. It helps me get through that. It helps that like what might seem like suffering to some as pleasure to others.
Yeah, man, that feeling after the sauna and then you jump in the cold plunge.
Oh yeah, then that cold plunge. Some about euphoric like moments of getting high, like being high. There's moments I've done the sauna like super hot, then I've gone in the super cold river, and then I'm like walking back in the grass after that cold river, and I'm like,
yeah, on a different planet.
This is what like
different dimension,
this is like what people are like must shoot up heroin for, is to feel like a glimpse of this. And sometimes in breath work too. And it's not like heroin. I don't know what it's like. I've lost myself completely. I've completely been like not me. I'm not even here. A few times.
Have you had any? What interesting experiences have you had with breathwork?
That I'm like, I don't even know where I went. I started doing, my body's doing things like I'm like doing things with like my phone or trying to check the time, but I don't even remember it. I don't even and like yeah, I sometimes just get really lost, like really gone. But I'm usually laying down when I'm doing this. I'm laying down doing this, and I'm taking so much oxygen in that something happens. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it feels healthy. It feels real healthy. I think it's real risky to do trying to like stand up or like on the edge of a creek or something like that. I do these really laying in the grass when I'm getting that high on my own supply.
Yeah. Lay down, get yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy the journey.
I've held my breath for over 5 minutes.
Wow.
A couple times. That's been interesting. Like I do understand that like my body, sometimes I'm in the mood to hold my breath for much longer than I am in other times. And interestingly enough, the first time I held my breath for 5 minutes was like right before I was going hunting for the first time, like seriously hunting to go kill an animal for food or kill 2 animals for food. And I stopped at this like spring near Austin, and I just it was so hot. It was like probably like 80 degrees and just like perfectly laying in the grass where I had like this perfect position where I couldn't move a muscle. Like I could do all this deep breath work and not move a muscle. And I just caught myself. I'm like, oh, it's like I just held I had the timer on. I was like, wow, I just held my breath for 5 minutes. And I didn't even like, I felt like I could have gone longer, but I'm like, I should probably breathe now. And I think there was something some part of my spirit was preparing me for this hunt.
Wow, what was that? I've got so many questions. I know with time, but like what was that experience like actually going through a hunt?
Oh, that was huge.
Yeah, one of my buddies was sharing that where he said that because you just make the decision to eat meat. He was like, I want to go through that process of actually start to finish, like what it is, rather than just going into a shop and buying the meat. Yeah. So I actually want to experience, what that's like. So then you know that you've gone through the process rather than, people eat meat and I eat meat, but actually it's, when you just go in the package, you kind of like, you forget about the actual process, right? So I'm curious, what was it like to actually go through the hunting process?
Yeah, instead of like the hired hitman grocery store supply chain thing. Oh yeah, you don't have children, do you?
No.
Oh yeah, that's the closest thing I could say. First of all, the reason I was inspired to go hunt and get meat was that my daughter was now starting to eat meat. I could tell she really enjoyed eating meat. I think she was about 3. So that was the driving force. I was like, I want to go get her meat.
Right.
And, but the process is the closest feeling, like visceral feeling I had in my body and my consciousness that I could tie it to was watching her being birthed. There was something about that, like maybe the portal of life and death. It's tragic, it's traumatizing, it's beautiful, it's amazing. It's like, I would say it felt like it unlocked part of coding deep within me.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty amazing thing to be able to combine, like to have it aligned with, right? Like literally giving birth.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, and I know people talk about their like connecting with their ancestors a lot especially through like plant medicine and such. That's where I felt like I was connected the most to my ancestors, was those 2 moments, like seeing my daughter birth in our living space at our beach place where we wanted her to be birthed, and then also killing animals to provide for her.
And you still hunt now?
I have not hunted recently. No. I've done some bison, like a bison harvest as a retreat type of day with some experts in the group, and same with a water buffalo. And then last time I went hunting, I think was in Hawaii, the big island of Hawaii, with for pigs with dogs, which is also that's a whole nother remembrance as well. Teaming up with dogs to kill animals.
Wow.
To feed your family. It's kind of crazy. That's a whole other thing. I think I had one more question.
Let's go.
If you could rewrite one cultural rule about success or masculinity, what would you replace it with?
Great question. Yeah, I'd say that success is both an inside out and outside in job. So when it comes to masculinity, then I believe like the true masculine is the protector, the provider, and the action taker, but at the same time is integrated like the lover inside as well. So like the true masculine in my eyes is someone who can, hold himself and protect, provide, take action, but also who is tuned into his emotional world as well. So that he knows how to connect with, his family, connect with his, intimate partner, connect with his business partners. And yeah, I suppose the more wounded masculine I would see is someone who, they may be that hustle, take action, go, 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 but they're actually disconnected to their authentic truth. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I have a lot more questions. It looks like we're about right at the 1-on-1 mark. How do people follow you or get in touch with you?
Yeah, so on Instagram at Sam Church Official. So at Sam Church Official on Instagram would be a cool place to connect. Mm-hmm. And then, we've got the Transformation Code podcast, which is on my YouTube, which is Sam Church Official as well. So that's all on there, and also on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. So yeah, man.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great connect. I appreciate you sharing as well about your health journey, and also for these the bison tallow balm, the raw honey.
Yeah,
man, we're
you want to try that raw honey? It's kind of tell me what you think about that honey.
Oh, so
we got someone, because you probably haven't had too much American honey.
No, I've not. I like the Manuka honey.
Okay, cool.
Cool. But let's give this.
That's some nice Colorado honey there for you.
I see.
Raw, unfiltered.
Oh yeah, man, nice. It's thick. It's it's got like a thick texture now. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I love honey so much, man. How much of this do you eat a day?
Oh man, I would guess that's a good question. I would probably go through. I would guess on average about 4 to 5 ounces of honey a day. That's about 8 ounces.
4 to 5 ounces. You go for half of one of these.
Probably when I think about it, yeah. So,
mate, sign me up to your diet, man. Honestly, that's awesome. Oh, mate, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I'm a big believer in real food, especially the eternal food. That stays good forever.
So you go through half of one of these?
Probably, yeah.
Throughout the day?
Or like it depends. I'm thinking like some days I might have like 6 ounces, and some days I might have like 2. So I think 4 is a pretty good guess.
Solid.
Yeah. I like to eat lots of different honeys. So like, for instance, where are you traveling to next?
Calgary in Canada.
Okay. So when do you go?
I go on Sunday.
Today's what?
Thursday.
Okay. So it's too late to do that. I was going to say like an idea. And then where do you go from Calgary?
So then to South Africa.
Wow. All right.
Cape Town, yeah.
Now, if you could get honey from South Africa, raw unfiltered honey from Cape Town, South Africa, before you go there, it might be a good idea for your immune system. So maybe you can get it shipped to Calgary. It might be a possibility. Like last time before I went to the Big Island of Hawaii, I got raw honey from Big Island. And I was eating it before I got there.
Now that would be an awesome business idea as well, like to be like the connector of raw honey.
And it's specifically raw unfiltered. Like you want all the stuff like the propolis, the wax.
Because for you people who are avid travelers or business people who are traveling around a lot of the world, imagine having a connector who had the suppliers in South Africa, Australia, like
I can
USA.
See the website, like all the colonies and the hexagons and the connections.
Yeah, and then you ship it just before, because immune system. I mean, this. Yeah, what would you say is the biggest impact on your immune system with the honey?
That's a good question. I don't know if I could pin. I don't know if I can pin. All right, I will actually. When I got cut on the Big Island of Hawaii, I am a little intimidated. That's an intimidating place to get cut because all the staph in the air and how wet it is, and if you're in certain areas, nothing will dry, and it's like very paradisey, like all this soft green grass barely covering like sharp black lava rock. It's like razor sharp. So a lot of people can get cut there, and then if they don't properly take care of it, it can become an issue. So I definitely believe in the benefits of when I was traveling around those beaches and stuff where I was prone to getting cuts. I had like a little 2-ounce jar that I would take in my bag, and I would put that stuff on my cut right away. And I felt like they healed better basically. And it protected me. It is antibacterial, antimicrobial. So that I've been, I know you said you put honey on your skin, or your girlfriend does.
Yeah. We did some like just honey mask for the skin. And it's like just helped to clear up her skin. It really helped a lot. You could tell the difference after a few times of us doing it. The skin, like, it's really started to just clean up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I think understanding about bees and like real, I get I get a lot of my plant nutrition from honey, because they're the ones that are getting a little of every plant, like a microdose of every plant in the area that you're getting the honey from. And because if I eat too many plants, then I fart a lot, and I don't like farting a lot. I own the fartfreediet.com.
Yeah.
The fart free.
Have you got that domain?
Maybe I should make that book, The Fart Free Diet.
Wow. There's a few things that could come out of this.
And it won't be farts.
Watch your space. Yeah. Very awesome to connect, man.
You as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yavel.
Yes, legend.
Keep breaking normal, y'all. Hey, let us know what you thought about the episode. I appreciate a review or a comment on Spotify. And if you send that to me, then I'll send you something special for Tribe Vitamins.